Hey, welcome back to my channel. I'm Ken and people call me Kuya. Today we're going to talk about 5 things that you might be doing that's triggering your AFib. So come on, let's get into it. Number 1 is going to be dehydrated, okay? And I'm not talking water. You can drink all the water in the world, but it's not giving you enough minerals. And when I talk about minerals, I'm talking about sodium, potassium, and magnesium. If you don't have those key nutrients, especially during the summertime, when you're out working in the yard and profusely sweating, your body's getting rid of those. Good tip that I'll give you, I would suggest using liquid IV. You can buy it at your local drugstore, you can buy it at most grocery stores, and it comes in handy. Just read the box and it'll tell you, roughly how many you should be using within one day. Okay, before we get into this, if any of this that we talk about resonates with you or helps you, leave me a comment down below. Also, if you feel up to it, I sure would like a subscribe and a like and possibly a share. If this, resonates with one of your friends, family, loved ones, that would be great. So I appreciate you. Number 2, stress. Stress is a big one. Stress is the number 1 killer, right? So what happens with stress as it pertains to AFib? Your body goes into this fight or flight mode. Okay, so it's basically creating an electrical issue with your sympathetic nervous system. So when you are under a lot of stress, that could trigger your AFib. Number 3, overeating. A lot of people don't suffer from AFib. A lot of people do. Some people that have never had AFib sometimes will, I would call it asymptomatic. They just kind of feel like their heart's fluttering a little bit. That's AFib. And what happens when you overeat, it puts pressure on the stomach, where your stomach pushes up on your diaphragm, and it could cause some AFib or that irregular heartbeat. Number 4, sleep apnea. Sleep apnea can definitely trigger your AFib. What happens is your body gets low on oxygen and basically causes you to get hypoxic. When you get hypoxic, it's going to trigger an electrical issue with your heart. So if you have sleep apnea, that's another thing that can trigger your AFib. And number 5, alcohol or any type of stimulants. What are we talking about here? We're talking about caffeine, energy drinks, too much soda, or pop, Coke, Pepsi, whichever you call it in your state or country. So those are some things that can cause it as well. Nicotine, so cigarettes, chewing tobacco, and even like your Zen pouches or anything that's going to be a stimulant in your system, that also can trigger your AFib. Okay, so going back through the 5 again, real quick, for the fix. Here's how you fix these. We talked about dehydration, right? Definitely want to make sure you're hydrated. Drink plenty of water. Gatorade can help, put some of those nutrients back in your body. For me, I use liquid IV. I'm actually in AFib right now. Now, understanding AFib you can be asymptomatic where you don't know, or you can be symptomatic where you feel it and you know you're in AFib. So I'm one of those patients that I periodically will battle AFib, but I know what triggers mine, and mine is stress. So we're going to number 2, stress. Find a way to relax. Using me as an example, I work a lot, okay? I work 4 jobs, which is partially why I haven't posted in a little while. On top of my law enforcement, I also work part-time in another agency. My 3rd one is I'm an instructor, so I teach. And my 4th one is something completely off the wall, and I do graphic arts. What kind of graphic arts? Screen printing. So I own my own screen print shop. It's a very small shop, but sometimes it does get busy. And right now, I'm pretty slammed. So for me, stress. 3, the overeating thing. You know, you've been outside or you've been driving all day long and you are just hungry. So when you pack in, 7 burritos in you and you overeat, again, don't overeat, and that can help you with your AFib. Going into 4 again. So we talked about sleep apnea. If you snore really loud, there's a potential that you could be stopping breathing in the middle of the night, where you're basically gasping for breath because your body's low on oxygen, or you become hypoxic. I would strongly suggest, if you're one of these people, get a sleep study done. Most insurance covers it, and worst case scenario, you end up with a CPAP machine. Yeah, I have one. And to be honest with you, it really helps. I feel so much more revived in the mornings than what I did before. A little bit of adjustment going to a CPAP machine, but all in all, it really wasn't bad and definitely worth it. And no, I don't look like Maverick from Top Gun. And going into the last one, the 5th one, alcohol and stimulants. Again, I will blatantly be honest with you and transparent. I do Zyn pouches. I used to smoke for a number of years and I quit. I did chewing tobacco, so I did Skull for a number of years and finally kicked that habit because it was just, I was getting afraid. I was really afraid of it. And so I did go to Zyn pouches, and I'm all the way down into like a 3 milligram and hoping to quit soon, trying to keep up that fight. All right. Those are the 5 tips that I have for you as it pertains to AFib, or helping control your AFib. Now, if you do all these things and you still have AFib, seek out some form of consultation with a cardiologist. They may refer you to an electrophysiologist, where they could potentially do what's called a heart ablation. It's very minimally invasive, and they just go in and they kind of map out your heart, figure out which signals are sending bad ones, and they get them taken care of. It's really pretty much a walk in the park. I don't even believe you're in the hospital for a full day, and you can go back to work in roughly 2 or 3 days. So it's better to get it checked. And here's why. Long-term AFib that's constant and continuous can become a serious problem for you. Number 1, it can cause cardiomyopathy. Now, I'm not a doctor. I'm not here to give any type of medical advice. But cardiomyopathy is one thing you don't want. It will basically kill you within a fairly short amount of time, but you don't want that. So if you have AFib and it's constant, seek out a cardiologist, and hopefully they can refer you to an electrophysiologist where they can get this fixed for you. The other thing that you need to be concerned with would be a stroke. Now for me, I don't have to worry so much about a stroke because I'm on a high dosage amount of blood thinners due to the prosthetic aortic valve along with the graft. So I take a good amount of blood thinners, but the cardiomyopathy could be an issue for me. However, again, I usually know what triggers my AFib, and I try to control it as much as possible. I really minimize the amount of Zyn that I use, which is a stimulant, and I really try very hard to watch the amount of stress. So I'm not perfect. I screw up too. So that's me just giving out the information to you, and I hope to see you soon. But for now, I'm out.